Vizer.
Well, I don't know about you, but after watching that video, man, I would love to re-enlist. Can you imagine a recruiter walking in? Hey, yeah, take me. Get the hell out of here. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank Ron Christensen for asking me to speak tonight. What an incredible honor, especially for the 250th. Frankly, I was apprehensive at first, thinking about what a challenge that would be. However, I am eternally grateful for the training that the Marine Corps has given me. That is the reason why I said yes. Marines do not back down from any challenge. Hoorah! Side note, I have to do this. I promised Men's Warehouse that I'd give them a shout out for giving me a great deal on this outfit. They do have a 20% discount going on down there, so just tell them Mike sent you. Green Bay, they'll hook you up. All right. Tonight, we gather not just to mark a milestone, but to honor a legacy. 250 years ago, in a Philadelphia tavern, a few good men answered a call that would echo throughout history. From that humble beginning, the United States Marine Corps was born, not just as a fighting force, but as a symbol of courage, discipline, and unwavering commitment. Let us journey back to 1775. The Revolutionary War was raging, and the Continental Congress authorized the formation of 2 battalions of Marines. Captain Samuel Nicholas recruited the first Marines at Tun Tavern, a fitting birthplace for warriors who would become legends. From the Battle of Nassau to the decks of the USS Constitution, early Marines proved their mettle. They fought with muskets, with sabers, but more importantly, with heart. These were men who believed in liberty, who laid the foundation for a corps that would never retreat from duty. As the centuries unfolded, so did the legends. From 1798 to 1872, Marines wore a black leather collar, or stock, as part of their uniform. The stiff leather collar was about 2.5 to 3 inches tall and fastened at the back with buckles. It forced the wearer to keep their head erect, high, and a posture symbolizing discipline and military bearing. The collar also had a secondary purpose. It was believed to offer protection against sword slashes, especially during shipboard combat. Sailors, often poking fun at the rigid Marine posture, began calling them leathernecks, a term that stuck and eventually became a badge of pride. I will say that whoever started this crayon eating thing needs to just go away. In World War I at Bella Wood, Marines earned the nickname Devil Dogs from German forces. In World War II, they stormed the beaches at Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Saipan, and Iwo Jima, where the flag raising became an eternal image of the American resolve. In Korea, they braved the frozen hell of the Chosin Reservoir. In Vietnam, they fought in jungles and rice paddies, often outnumbered, but never outmatched. In Somalia, they fought against ruthless warlords who turned out to be some of the founders of Al-Qaeda. This was our sneak peek into the battles to come. In Iraq and Afghanistan, they adapted to urban warfare, counterinsurgency, and the complexities of modern combat. Each generation of Marines has faced new challenges, but the spirit remained unchanged. Grit, honor, brotherhood. So what makes a Marine? It's not just a uniform, the training, or the battlefield, It's the ethos. It's their character. It's honor. Doing what's right, even when no one else is looking. It's courage, facing fear and adversity with resolve. It's commitment, a promise to never quit, never falter, never fail. Once a Marine, always a Marine. That's not just a phrase. It's a truth etched into every soul who's earned the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. How many spouses in here have had to wait, sometimes up to 15 minutes, while your Marine stops and talks to some old-timer wearing a USMC hat? I do it all the time. I can't help it. It drives my wife crazy. Marines are warriors, yes, but they are also mentors, protectors, and leaders. They carry the legacy of those that came before, and they shape the future for those who will follow. Our reputation definitely precedes us. The whole world has heard of the U.S. Marine Corps. And not only have they heard about us, they fear us, and they should. My former commanding general, James Mattis, said this: you go into Afghanistan, you got guys who slap women around for 5 years because they didn't wear a veil. You know, guys like that ain't got no manhood left anyway. So it's a hell of a lot of fun to shoot them. Actually, it's a lot of fun to fight. You know, it's a hell of a hoot. It's fun to shoot some people. I'll be right up front with you. I like brawling. That was my commanding general. Chesty Puller stated that there are not enough Chinamen in the world to stop a fully armed Marine regiment from going wherever they want to go. Another quote by James Mattis: nothing keeps me awake at night. I keep other people awake at night. Mad Dog Mattis was one of a kind. They said his knife hand had a kill casualty radius that was hundreds of miles. While combat is often glorified, it is not a requirement for claiming the title of Marine. Not all Marines have had that opportunity. I can't count the number of times that I have heard a Marine Corps brother say that they wished that they saw combat. It's both a blessing and a curse for many reasons. One that I must not elaborate on time's sake, otherwise First Sergeant said he's going to take me out to the pit if I go over on time. The Marine Corps is more than a war-fighting institution. It's also a force for good. In humanitarian missions, Marines bring aid and hope. In disaster relief, they rebuild communities. In diplomacy, they stand as symbols of American strength. From embassy guards to cyber warriors, from drill instructors to medics, Marines serve in ways that often go unseen, but never go unappreciated. I've had the honor of meeting Marines who've stormed beaches, cleared villages, and saved lives under fire. But I've also met Marines who have mentored youth, rebuilt homes, and stood watch in silence so others could sleep in peace. To every Marine here tonight and to those deployed around the world, I say this: you are the embodiment of American strength. You are the reason our flag flies high. You are the reason freedom endures. Some of you out there may be wondering, who the heck is this guy? Well, let me tell you. I am the son of U.S. Marine Corporal Thomas Vizer, medically discharged in 1968. I'm also the grandson of U.S. Army Tank Commander Captain Alex Vizer, who fought against Rommel in Africa. I'm the nephew of Sergeant Richard Mintz, U.S. Army door gunner, who did 3 tours in Vietnam. He received 3 Bronze Stars and 8 Purple Hearts. I served my country only 4 years, spending 3 of those years either at sea aboard the USS Independence, aircraft carrier CB-62, and that included, I spent a 6-month vacation at Camp Schwab. Some of you may know that place. Which included a 2-week detour in Thailand, Pattaya Beach, which we won't talk about. finishing off my illustrious career with a 5-month African safari on the ultimate hunt where the prey shoots back. You want to know who I am? I'm nobody. I'm dirt. I'm just a lowly E4 who has a passion for vets, and I rather enjoy getting up in front of strangers and sharing my love for all things Marine Corps. I really don't feel worthy to be up here with all the great Marines who have done this before me, but I will say this. Everyone here, we got some things in common. We all signed that contract, putting our lives on the line, knowing that the end could come at any time. And we all stepped on those damned yellow footprints. And we all earned the title, or earned our Eagle, Globe, and Anchor and the title of Marine. Before I close, I want to briefly talk about coming home. I hate to bring this down a little bit, but I have to. An average of 17 veterans die by suicide each day in the United States. This number, while slightly lower than the earlier estimates of 22 per day, still reflects a heartbreaking and persistent crisis. Veterans are 1.5 times more likely to die by suicide than non-veteran adults. Women veterans face an even higher risk, 92% greater than non-veteran women. Roughly 60% of veterans who die by suicide have never received care from the VA, highlighting major gaps in outreach and access. There's some contributing factors: PTSD, mental health concerns, including stress and anxiety, traumatic brain injuries or TBI, chronic pain, physical disabilities, social isolation, and difficulty reintegrating into civilian life. I know men who have died in combat and men who have died 30 years after they came home. I was almost one of those 17 back in March of this year. I've done difficult things in my life, but admitting I had suicidal thoughts and asking for help was the most difficult thing I've ever done. But I am so glad I did. If anyone out there is having a hard time, is in a bad place, get help, reach out, call somebody. There is so much good help out there available. And speaking of getting help, I know a guy, Jesus Christ. I believe he played a major part in not only the success and longevity of our beloved Corps, but also for allowing me to survive. To survive not only the madness of Mogadishu, but the demonic attacks many decades and miles far from home, far from that African shore. Looking out into this crowd, I'm sure some of you can relate. I will not debate as to why I survived, and while others like Lance Corporal Anthony Botello paid the ultimate price. I do know that I will not forsake the time that I have been given to make a difference. To make a difference in my home, to make a difference in my community, and in my country that I call home, the United States of America. You can say hoorah to that if you want. Thank you. Looking ahead, as we celebrate 250 years, we must also look forward. The battlefield, like you heard, will change. The threats will evolve, but the Marine will remain constant. Let us invest in the next generation. Let us preserve the stories of those who came before. Let us ensure that the title Marine continues to mean something profound. Because the world needs Marines, not just for what they do, but for who they are. General James F. Amos is quoted as saying, "A Marine is a Marine." I set that policy 2 weeks ago. There's no such thing as a former Marine. You're a Marine, just in a different uniform. You're in a different phase of your life, but you'll always be a Marine because you went to Parris Island, San Diego, or the hills of Quantico. There's no such thing as a former Marine. Tonight we don't just celebrate a birthday, we celebrate a legacy. A promise kept for 250 years, a standard that never wavers. To the United States Marine Corps, thank you for your courage, for your honor, and for your commitment. Semper Fidelis and happy 250th anniversary.
All right.